know what SQL Server is, right? So SQL Server is a Microsoft product, which is a database management system, and it helps us talk to the database.
Right. Okay.
Right. It's a language, an English-like language, which we use to talk to the database, and it's very simple. It's very easy to learn. Of course, as you said, it consists of some database objects like stored procedures, views, triggers, and so on, out of which we mostly use stored procedures to implement the business logic.
Okay.
So that's about the SQL Server, and it's available in various versions. Like we have, the recent version is SQL Server 2012.
Yeah.
And before that we had 2008 R2. We work on 2008 R2.
Okay.
Normally, my office desktop has 2008 R2 on it. Also 2008. So 2008 and 2008 R2 are very similar. I mean, not much difference is there in the features available and all. Okay. And again, the previous version is 2005. There are a lot of improvements.
I have a question. I have a question. Difference in these two versions anante basic SQL server lona ledante business intelligence dantlona difference vachedi.
Okay, so when we talk about SQL Server, it's a it can be considered as a package wherein it has SQL Server, which is SQL Server Management Studio, along with Business Intelligence Development Studio, which is exclusively meant for developing BI solutions. Okay, but here when I'm saying SQL Server, here it means it's only SQL Server, not BI. But of course, from version to version, yes, there are improvements in all the four: SQL Server DB, SSIS, RS, AS.
Okay.
Okay, it's just adding new features from time to time. So they add new features and they release every year, or every now and then. So that's how we get new versions. So here, that's about the SQL Server. Now if we come to BI, so what actually is BI? What made Microsoft to introduce BI tools along with SQL Server? So initially, when Microsoft launched SQL Server, there was no BI because there was no need for it. But later on, as the market grew and grew, they found the need for the BI, and that's how they've incorporated SSIS, RS, and AS accordingly.
Okay.
So BI, in the sense,
for communicating with the data warehouse, is that it is?
No, I'll explain. SQL Server is a language which we use to communicate with the database.
Okay.
Okay, so we are clear with that. But BI, so what is BI? Business intelligence. So what is it? Business intelligence. So what does it do? So business intelligence, in the sense, it's all about business, right? So intelligent business, in the sense, it helps the business owners to take intelligent business decisions for the smooth running of the business.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a technology which helps, which helps the decision makers to take decisions appropriately. So that's what is business intelligence. So how do they do it? How do we help the business owners take good decisions based on this technology? So based on the data, right? So normally, how do we, how do we predict some situation? Like, I'll give you a simple example. Like we have, in India, IRCTC, right? The Indian Railway.
Okay.
Right? So, in some seasons, they will need to arrange more trains, while in some other seasons, they'll have to reduce the number. Like, they cannot maintain the same number throughout, number of trains throughout.
Yeah.
So, how do they decide, like, on which route, how many trains in what season, during what time? So this is all decided by the past data.
Right.
Right. So last year, the same season, like, like how did we manage to get through, and how was it? Like, did we actually cater to the needs of the travelers, or so how was it? Like, based on that, they take decision for tomorrow, for the current season.
Yeah.
So that's what is business intelligence. So we should enable the business users to be able to look at the data in the best possible ways, so that they take decisions accordingly.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Okay. So business intelligence is what? It's like taking making strategic decisions, making strategic plans according to the past data.
Okay.
So that's about business intelligence. So now, before we go ahead, we'll just talk about OLTP and OLAP. Okay. So did you hear, did you ever hear about OLTP?
Yeah. Online transaction
processing system.
processes, and with the online
analytical processing
analytical
system.
Yeah. I heard about that, but yeah.
No problem. So is it like, so do you know what the systems are? OLTP system, OLAP system?
No, I don't have idea.
So it is like OLTP in the sense, here the data is normalized in the sense, it's like, okay, before that, normally you take SQL Server. So in SQL Server, data is arranged in the form of tables.
Right.
So tables contain data. So how are these tables designed? In a sense, what data to put in what table?
Okay.
So that's what is the design, right?
Right.
And later on, these tables are linked with the help of parent key, foreign key relationships.
Primary key, yeah.
Right? So these foreign key, primary key relationships and the tables together is called the OLTP.
Okay.
Otherwise, we can put all the information in a single table.
Okay.
Yes or no? We can always put. Okay, previously when we didn't have SQL Server, how did they used to manage data? With the help of Excel.
Right.
Right. So what did they do? They took a page, they put everything into the same page. So it's like data in a single table, all the data in a single table. But, that is not really, I mean, when you want to retrieve data, I mean, particular data based on specific criteria, then it would be difficult for us to query.
Right. Okay.
Right. So that's the reason we have SQL Server, which is a database management system, wherein the data is arranged in the form of tables, and also they are all interlinked with the help of primary key, foreign key relationships, like, parent table, child table, and so on.
Okay.
And this will save space because you are not re-entering the data each time.
Okay.
Right. So you understand what I mean by re-entering the data, right? So if we take everything in a single line, sometimes we may have to enter the redundant data. For example, let's say, you're working for somewhat. Okay, let's say, we want to take the employee information or whatever, okay, into our database. So what do? Normally all our employees are from Andhra Pradesh and India, right? So each time you enter an employee, you will have to, if you have to take everything into a single table. So every time you're entering this information, what it is, the city and the country are the same.
Right. Okay.
Every time. Not only these, even the zip codes, many other things could be the same. Right? So this is all redundant data. So in order to avoid this, in order to avoid, also in order to save space, what they did was they, they scattered the information across the tables.
Okay.
In the sense, a specific kind of information in one single table. Another specific information in another table, and then interlinking these for more information.
Okay.
Okay, so this linking is possible with the help of primary key, foreign key relationships, which are again the database concepts.
Okay.
So that's what is OLTP system. So in OLTP system, data is scattered across multiple tables which are related with the help of a primary key, foreign key relationships.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's what is OLTP. Now OLAP means, so here when it is designed like this, then entering of data will be easy. In the sense, transactional processing will be easy.
Okay.
In the sense, if you have to enter new data, you don't have to enter the full thing. Like India, Hyderabad or whatever, you don't have to enter every time you enter an employee. Simply you'll enter a small code or something there.
Okay.
Right. So that's how the entering, the updations, deletions, these things will become easy. So it will be faster. So OLTP systems are mostly preferred for transactional processing. In the sense, like, a point of sale. Like, when you go to a supermarket, they take the information there, right? So, that's a point of sale, and that's where the data is taken, collected.
Okay.
So such systems are all OLTP systems, wherein they enter something and they try to update something or whatever. So it's an OLTP system wherein in the background the database will be in a normalized form, wherein the data is scattered across multiple tables instead of a single table.
Right.
And again, now when we consider OLAP, OLAP is like online analytical processing system. So these are best suited for analysis purposes. In the sense, we design these database structures to make the analysis easy. OLTP systems are mainly meant to make the transactions easy.
Okay.
Transactions in the sense updations, deletions, and new entries.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But OLAP in the sense analysis. How do you analyze? After you retrieve the data.
Okay.
You retrieve the data and you analyze. So here we mostly do select. Because select command is for retrieving in SQL Server, right?
Right.
Only when you give select, you get the data out. Whatever the data that you want, you put it in the clauses, whatever the where clause, the group by clause, and you get the specified data. So here, this is for analytical purposes. In the sense, these database structures are best designed for analysis.
Okay.
So here, the data is put into less number of tables.
Okay.
Because more the number of tables, when you want, more information, what you have to do is, you need to join all these tables and query, okay, which will become a complex query.
Right.
So again, in order for the SQL Server engine to process this query, it takes some time.
Okay.
Right? So OLTP is not suited for analysis. I mean, especially if it is huge data like billions of records.
Okay.
but OLAP is specially meant for that. In the sense, so here data is arranged in less number of tables. So when you want to analyze what we do, so less number of tables, less number of joins. So the select works faster. So you can get to see the data faster. So performance is good.
Okay.
So you don't have to wait for, minutes and hours to view the reports. So it will be much faster. So that's the difference between OLTP and OLAP.
Okay.
So that's about it. And okay. Now let's just, get into what SSI. We know what business intelligence is, right? So it's just a tool, which makes the data analysis easy for the business owners to make appropriate decisions.
Okay.
Okay, like for example, why exactly do we need BI? Okay, like let's say you have a supermarket.
Okay.
Okay, so you have a wide variety of products there, like right from dairy products to vegetables to grocery, lot many items, plastic items, lot many items, like thousands and thousands of items.
Okay.
So each day sales will happen, right?
Yeah.
But in particular seasons, demand for a particular product will be more.
Right. Yes.
Like you take, sunscreen or whatever, like, okay, you take sunscreen. So what happens, especially in the summer, the demand for it will be more.
No. Yes.
So the same kind of sales you may not achieve in the other seasons.
Right.
So, how much stock to get in at what time, you need to make this decision.
Right.
So especially when considering the dairy products and all, which will expire if you don't use them properly.
Right.
So we have to be very careful when deciding the amount of stock which you need to get into the store. So for that, you definitely will need the accurate numbers of the, the previous sales data.
Okay.
Right. So yesterday, how much milk was sold? Day before yesterday, how much milk was sold? Overall, last week, how much was sold? The previous last week or the previous month? Is there an increase? If there is an increase from week to week, how much percentage is it?
Okay.
Okay. So this week, how much can I expect? How much should I get in? I mean, how much should I fill it in with? So these decisions, how will you be able to take? Only if you have the, this data or in an organized fashion.
Right. Okay.
Otherwise, normally when you don't have BI, so what was there? That's a normal, SQL Server table or an Excel sheet, wherein you have to, wherein you have to do it manually or to an extent, or from a particular date to a particular date, what is the quantity you could be able to find out.
Okay.
But here, using BI, you will be able to find out the weekly sales in a matter of seconds. Okay? Last week's sales, comparison, last week and the previous last week, or else the monthly or, month to date, in the sense, starting of the month to till date, how much is the sales. Okay? Last MTD, and so on. Okay? YTD in the sense, starting of the year to till date.
Yeah.
Yeah, to till date. So any kind of information is just readily available.
Okay.
Using BI. So this flexibility is not there with the normal, with just the database management system. Whatever we want, we need to query it. Okay, this week we have to write one query. Last week we have to write another query. Comparison, again you have to write another query. So instead of doing all, this is, really very time consuming. But of course, this is very important for the business, right? You make a wrong decision, it gets screwed up. So, so that's the reason they've realized the importance of, BI, and, they've started introducing, and also, these tools are being more improvised.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so that's about the BI, and, how is it used in the real time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's see what SSIS is. Okay. So BI includes 3 tools: SSIS, SSRS, and SSAS.
Mm-hmm.
Now, SSIS in the sense SQL Server Integration Services,
Mm-hmm.
which is an ETL tool. So
Okay.
ETL here is extraction, transformation, loading.
Load. Okay.
Okay, so here what we do is, let's say you have 10 number of stores.
Okay.
Okay, you are a business owner, you have 10 stores at 10 different places. Now if you want to look at the overall sales, okay, what do? You ask for reports from the manager in each store.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, and then you sum it up and you analyze.
Okay.
Right, which could be a difficult task sometimes, which could not be practical, or you cannot be maybe playing around with much information.
Okay.
So, but SSIS, what it does is it helps you move the data.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it helps you consolidate the data in the desired form into a centralized database called data warehouse.
Okay.
So what we use SSIS for is just to consolidate the data, to transform, in the sense, why do we transform? In order to make it more, in order to make it more understandable. Like, sometimes you don't need some information for analysis like zip codes and all. These are not of much interest. So you will remove this data in the middle, in the staging area. Similarly, you want the first name, last name, middle name to be under one single column. That is full name. Okay, so you do this kind of transformations in the middle, and then you put it in an organized manner in the centralized database, which is the data warehouse.
Okay.
Okay, so I can show you a picture which will give you a clear understanding here. Oh, why is it? Okay, you see here, this is the data warehouse. I mean, this is the centralized repository. Okay, so here you have, you have data. For example, you can consider these as your stores.
Okay.
You can consider these as your stores. So you're getting all the data into the data warehouse.
Data warehouse. Okay.
Okay, these are the stores. You're getting the data here. Now, after you analyze the data, you're again giving back the information in the form of reports to whoever the executive manager, the program manager, the sales manager, and so on.
Okay.
So that they will know what they're doing, right? The sales people have to know. So, like, whether they're doing it properly or not, whether it is above the mark, below the mark. So, if it is below the mark, what kind of promotions do they have to make? What kind of advertisements do they have to do? And what kind of money can be spent on these advertisements? So which areas do require this? I mean, in the sense, which products really need to be advertised, so which not. So all these decisions are very important and budget oriented. And also, that can bring a drastic effect in the sales.
Okay.
So that's the reason these decisions are considered very important. And again, there's another diagram which I have. So this is what we do. So these are the operational applications, in the sense, the scattered databases.
Okay.
Okay, so we are consolidating the data using ETL. So we are doing this using SSIS. So here, this is the staging area wherein we do all the, all the changes required, or adding new columns or whatever. Okay, in the way we present the data in the way we want.
That we want. Yeah.
And later on we move it into the data warehouse. So this is the centralized repository.
Okay.
And here again, from the data warehouse, you can directly use SSRS to build reports, or you can also create reports on this, on the OLTP database. So when you want to create data on the OLTP, you use SQL Server query
for creating the reports.
SQL Server query. Yes. But here, from the data warehouse, if you want to create SSRS reports, you can use MDX query. Even we have two languages, actually three. One is SQL Server, which helps us communicate with the SQL Server relational database management system.
Okay.
And the other one is MDX, in the sense multi-dimensional expressions. It is a language which we use to query the cubes. Okay, we'll talk about the cubes later. Let me not confuse you. So here it is like you understood the purpose here, right? So here we are simply consolidating the data.
Okay.
Okay. And we are moving it into a centralized repository. So from this we generate reports, we create cubes, and we provide whatever the business reports are required.
Okay.
Okay, so that's about it. That's about data warehousing and SSIS. Okay, this is what is data warehousing. Data warehousing is just using SSIS to consolidate and move it into a centralized repository.
Okay.
Okay, so that's about SSIS. Now, let's go ahead with SSRS. Now, what is SSRS? So, SSRS is a reporting tool, SQL Server reporting services. So, it is like, it will give us a design pane wherein we can design the report beautifully in the way we require. I mean, you're given a toolbox, everything. Okay, you're given the tables and all. So, you can show the report the way you want. And here, in the background, I mean, we need data to show in the report, right? So, this data comes from the SQL Server database.
Okay.
Okay. So, that's how we use SSRS reports. Definitely, reports are the final product which anybody would want.
Okay.
Right? So what is the purpose of all this? The business intelligence, SQL Server, whatever technology, it's all about the final report. Right? So finally, the business owner should be able to look at the data conveniently, comfortably in every angle that he would want to look at.
Okay.
So using SSRS, we should be able to provide the reports. And then SSAS. So SSAS is SQL Server Analysis Services. So this is meant for analysis. And using this, we create cubes. Okay. Cubes are multi-dimensional structures, multi-dimensional data structures. Table is what? It's a two-dimensional structure. It has only rows and columns. But cube is a multi-dimensional structure.
Okay.
This is what you can imagine a cube as. Just a second. Okay, this is how you can imagine a cube as. Okay, cube is a multi-dimensional data structure. In the sense here, time, date dimension, product dimension, similarly store dimension. So you can for example, there's a building.
Okay, right.
Okay, there is a building. So when you look at the building in the top view, okay, you will see it in one way.
Right.
The side view, it is different. Front view, it is different. Right?
Yeah.
Similarly, even the sales, if you take sales as the, as the main criteria, product-wise sales will be different.
Okay.
Similarly, date-wise sales or year-wise sales, okay, or store-wise sales,
Yeah.
okay, or salesperson-wise sales, or a combination, okay, a particular product in a particular year,
Okay.
okay, by a particular salesperson. So you, in different angles, you'll be able to look at the sales.
Okay.
So these angles are called dimensions. These are called dimensions of the cube.
Okay.
Okay, so we build cubes using SSAS.
SSAS.
So which is again a tool.
Mm-hmm.
And after you build the cube, so it's like, it's so easy to look at the data, like anything, any question, it's, the answer is readily available. For example, you ask me, like, what is the difference in sales in 2001 and 2 in a particular month for a particular customer during a particular season or whatever. The data is readily available from the cube. Okay, you simply drag and drop, you get the data there. You don't have to write a big query.
Okay.
If it is SQL Server, you have to mention all these conditions and so on, right? So every time you want to change the year, definitely you have to change the query or something like that. But here it is not like that. Here in the cube, the aggregated results are stored already.
Okay.
Okay, so everything is stored inside the aggregated results. It pre-calculates and stores, so that is the reason the data is readily available.
Okay.
So that's about SSAS. Okay, so this is, so BI here means it's a combination of SSIS, SSRS and SSAS, wherein SSIS plays the ETL role, wherein it helps in moving the data, which is definitely important to create a data warehouse.
Right. Okay.
Because for any analysis, business intelligence is what? Analysis. Right? You analyze and you provide the reports. So for this analysis, what is required? The main thing is data, consolidated data. So this consolidated data comes from ETL into the data warehouse. And later on, SSRS is the reporting tool which we use to, to present to the business owner in a readable format. And later on, also we have cubes. When we have, millions and millions of rows of data, then SQL Server fails. In the sense, we cannot touch the SQL Server to write such complex queries for the analysis. When the data is too huge, what we do is we create cubes according to our needs, and we store aggregated results so that data is ready for analysis.
Okay.
Okay, so that's about the, BI. Now, you asked me if you have any questions on this.
What is the series here? Like, do you do the reports first and analyze through that reports, or analysis is done and then you create the reports in the end?
Here, SSRS is good to start with, because it will involve, some stored procedures from which you will retrieve the data, okay, to show it in the report.
Okay.
So SSRS can be learned, in the sense it's like, the simple stored procs have to be learned before we learn SSRS. And we start with SSRS, and later on we do SSIS. Okay. And then once the data warehouse is ready, then we go ahead and build the cubes. Okay, so the flow is SSRS, IS and AS. Of course, we can even do SSIS, SSRS and SSAS, but but I think this is a better way.
So for creating reports, again, you need to extract the data, right? You need to,
Yes.
based on, so what do you use there?
We use the SQL Server query, or we
Okay,
use a
that's a
stored
query.
proc.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We use a query or a stored proc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
that part is clear?
Yeah. So
Oh,
far.
okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now, advantages. I have some points here. Like, what are the advantages of BI? Business performance management, including producing key performance indicators. Like, what products are making good sales and which are not, such as daily sales, resource utilization, okay, main operational costs for each region. So all these things can be closely monitored by the business owners.
Okay.
Customer profitability analysis. Like, we have, like, how do you identify, good customers, regular customers, and, and provide them with more benefits. So you do that, they stick to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, all these things can be taken care of, or, can be well managed when we use this BI.
Okay.
What else? Statistical analysis, like, like I said, year to year, this year, previous year, past year, purchase basket analysis. Basket analysis, they combine the products, like what? You buy a sunscreen, you get a face wash free,
Mm-hmm.
or
Okay.
something like that. So which all products are, selling good, if you place them together. So basket analysis. So they do it, and they see the sales, and they look at the data. I mean, if there are, like, if there's an increase in sales, yeah, that's a good idea. So they try to do more, right?
Okay.
So that's how basket analysis, mostly in the retail market.
Okay.
So predictive analysis, like, yesterday the sales was this much, day before yesterday it was this much, so tomorrow how much would it be, so how much should I be ready with?
Okay.
So all the strategic decisions can be made with the help of BI.
Okay.
Okay, that's about it. So that's all. So that's about it. So what
Oh.
we will do is, SQL Server can be learned. That is like, that is English like. But we will see a bit of stored procedures, for the SSRS reporting. If
Okay.
it is only MSBI, it will take like 50 hours. If it is including SQL Server, but normally, I suggest I suggest you to learn SQL Server on your own, because that's no big deal.
I know, but I'm
As you
stuck
do
with
and do.
stored procedures.
Yeah, sure. I'll help you with
Yeah.
that. Anyway, we'll come across stored procedures and
Yeah.
reporting services. So you'll find them very easy.
How to go on the logic, how do I, put the steps together? So that is what I am, where I am stuck actually.
Yeah, no problem. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what we'll do is we'll start with SSRS, and we'll see all the features which are available in SSRS, and the tools and the different kinds of reports which we can build using SSRS. And we'll actually build the SSRS reports on AdventureWorks DB. We have, AdventureWorks DB, which is released by Microsoft from time to time, for the demo purposes. Okay,
Okay.
we
Is
can
that
make use of it.
kind of, is it like a database? You mean?
Yeah, it's a database. It's a real database. It's a real enterprise database.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we can use that. Okay, so we'll do SSRS first, and then even the SSIS we'll do a real time, like everything is we'll do everything practically, no theory, nothing. It's like we do it, we see, oh okay, this is how it works. Okay,
Sure.
we
That would be
implement each and every feature which is available in the tool. Of course, not each and every feature is touched in every project or something like that.
Right. But
Whatever, but whatever the main things and the functionality has to be understood.
Okay, sure.
Okay, that will be taken care of. And we do SSIS, and even this we'll do it on AdventureWorks, so that will give us a clear picture, so that tomorrow even when you join somewhere, you'll find it easy to cope up with a real-time databases.
Real database, yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll create a data warehouse from the OLTP using SSIS, and later on we will try to build 1 or 2 cubes to see how the analysis is done.
Sure.
Okay. It's a complete end-to-end project. You can think of it as a project instead of a course.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and in the process of doing so, we will be learning the the functionality and the features, the different features available in each of these tools.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so that's about it.
So what are your timings?
Timings, I'm not actually, I asked for, time when Srinivas Garu spoke with me. I'll let you know in a while.
Okay.
Okay, I'll let you know.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, this was a nice demo. Then
thanks.
I'll also talk to Srinivas, and I will decide a date to start.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prasanna.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.